Hey, it's Geoff Goolsby with the Goolsby Group, and I'm bringing you another episode of Real Information from the Office where I take questions and I answer them, usually right here from my office or sometimes my home office. Today, I'm going to answer the question that I've gotten d- hundreds of times, maybe even 1,000 times, I don't know, but it's when's the best time for me to sell? And I've answered this question before, but today I'm going to specifically go into the data what we've seen happen in 2020, what we know has happened in the past, and I'm going to share that with you so that you can make a good decision moving forward into 2021. All right, so let's jump into it right now. When is the best time to sell? And I'm going to switch to my screen mode, and I'm going to show you the data for the last 2 years in real estate. Now this chart is showing the number of homes, the light green is the number of homes for sale and the dark green is the number of homes sold. Now, throughout the last 2 years, it's safe to say that on average, about 150 to 175 homes are selling at least each month, right? Sometimes more, sometimes less, but on average, it's about 150 homes. So we know that the demand is typically pretty strong, or the demand is around 150 homes per month. The supply tends to be, let's call it somewhere around 250 homes on average, right? Well, you can see here we have some real disparity and drastic differences between demand and supply. Primarily the supply. Since January, actually even since December of last year, historically low amount of supply, low amount of homes going up for sale. And actually in December of last year, a lot more homes were purchased than they were in December of 2018. And you kind of see this trend continue. Low amount of homes, they kind of dipped off, right? Like not a whole lot of homes were purchased right here. But in comparison to the supply, it was good. And then here you start to see this trend where, here we are in the midst of the pandemic, there's a lot of pausing. And then you see this trend where not enough homes hit the market, way more are purchased. Not enough homes hit the market, way more purchased. So you have this trend of extreme demand and very low supply. And what that turns into is this. This is another way of looking at the supply and demand, and it's the months of inventory based on closed sales. So you see here, this is kind of like normal. And if you look back over like a 5-year mark, this is, you see these kind of peaks and lows. It looks like a mountain range. And then here we're in the valley. We're in the valley of no inventory, less than a half a month supply of inventory available. And what that means is if everybody bought all of the houses that are on the market, we would run out of inventory in less than 1/2 of a month. In 2 weeks, we'd be completely bone dry if no other homes hit the market. Now, this is actually, what does it mean to me, right? What is my bottom line? How much money am I going to make when I sell my home? And a lot of times you can use this to see, all right, what's the average for sale price and what's the average sold price. And this is data over the last 2 years. And you see it kind of goes up and then it kind of flattens and then it goes up and then it kind of flattens or goes down even a little bit. Then it goes up. And these are all averages. A lot of factors come into this, like size of house and, just there's a number of factors, but this is all Roseville data. You see here, it goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. It kind of flattens, goes down. This is the first time we've seen this long of a just up, okay? And to prove it, I'm going to go back 5 years, and you can see, I wouldn't call this volatility because there's a lot of months in between here. This is a quarterly thing, but it's definitely moving up and down, and it's moving around. And then again here, just up. It's just going up. This is basically the longest uptick that we've seen. So what does that mean? Before I've answered it, and you can go back and see some of my other videos, what it means is typically the best time to sell a home is when you have the least amount of competition and the highest amount of demand. And in the past, that's been right around spring. Not because you didn't have, you certainly had low amounts of inventory in the winter months, but you had less demand. Well, right now, The game's changed a bit just because of the pandemic, and we have a significantly high amount of demand. We have pent up demand, and we have incredibly low inventory. I think on the market right now, there are 80 homes in Roseville, which is, today is December 4th. There are 80 homes available. So, anyhow, to answer the question, to get back to answering the question, when is the best time to sell? The best time to sell is when you have the lowest amount of competition and the highest pool of buyers. That's when you're going to get the absolute best price and the best terms. So last month, now, January, I think the winners of the seller's market are going to be listing their homes sooner than everybody else who are, probably still following conventional patterns, which is listing in the spring. And I think if you want to really beat the market, if you want to jump into that sweet spot and the best time to sell, which is when you have low supply and high demand, I think that's going to be in January, December. So anyhow, for what it's worth, that's real information from the office. I hope you found it valuable. If you have any more questions or if you want to see other episodes of this, just drop them in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. I post videos every single week. So thanks for watching. I'm Geoff Goolsby with the Goolsby Group at Keller Williams.